I forgot to say in the main part of this video, but I went to Asli Tarcan in Istanbul, Turkey. Got 5,000 grafts, 4,000 from the back of my head, 1,000 from underneath my beard, for a total of 5,000 grafts. The cost of the base procedure is $1,700. The beard fee was $500 for a total of 2,200 USD. The flight was around $1,300, but that's going to fluctuate depending on when you go and how long you stay for and stuff like that. And then the price of the visa was roughly $60, $70, and I'll have a link for that in the description. All right. Hey, how's it going, guys? Isaiah back with this is like 5 months and about like maybe 8 or 9, 10 days. So I'm just gonna call this 5.5 months. So recent, like, I guess, development and like my hair journey is that I've been growing my hair out a lot longer, like the sides. It's probably at about a 2.5 guard right now. I haven't cut it at all. I've just been shaping up the back and like fading the sides or doing like a taper front and back. And the reason why I'm growing it out is because I do have like a lot of long hairs in the front and pretty good coverage, like uniformly. So I can, kind of get away with, this is my hair fibered up, and I can get away with wearing fibers, pretty, it looks great. Like, honestly, like I look like I have a full head of hair. And this is actually, I am filming this after I just went roller skating for like an hour, and like I'm talking full sweat, like, tired, sweating, armpits, shirt covered in, this shirt was like darker earlier. And the fibers, look just as good as the moment that I put them in. So that's really good. So I think I'm going to delay my second hair transplant until at least like 10 months, just because I can kind of live my life like this now. So there's no real reason for me to rush, to get another hair transplant for my crown. And that's the main thing. So like I only got 800 grafts in my crown, and I probably need at least like another 1,500, maybe 1,000 grafts there. And I think you'll have seen kind of what my hair without fibers looks like. So I definitely need more grafts for my crown, but I think I'm gonna wait until I see exactly like how well my donor heals and exactly like how much like a fully matured hair transplant process looks like. But yeah, speaking of my donor area, I think honestly, like, I think it's about as good as I could hope for, considering I got 4,000 like follicles taken from the back of my head. Like, I think it looks great. Like, I don't think anyone would really notice that I got anything done unless I mention it to them. And so, like, obviously I'll need a second hair transplant, but that'll be with much less grafts and should be a lot less, dramatic. So I kind of think I'm in the clear in terms of like, I mean, some people are going to be nitpicky and say I got over harvested and stuff like that, but in terms of like my life and like, what I think about the procedure, I think I got a successful result, so I'm very happy about that. I do want to say, because I'm even a little shocked about how quick some of my recipient area has grown. Like, I'm at, like I said, like 5.5 months, 5 months, and I could cut this down to like a 1.5, and I would look like I have a full head of hair, which I think is pretty unique. Like, I can't really point to anybody else. I hope this doesn't sound like cocky, because I hope you guys know me by now. Like, I have no interest in hyping myself up, like, from being fully bald to like this is like a blessing. Like, I couldn't have asked for more. So I do want to kind of say, like, just to kind of encourage people who are also on a similar journey and maybe even like a similar place in their transplant process. Like, I don't want you to compare yourself too much with other people at similar times, just because, like, people are so unique in terms of the way their body heals, what their blood circulation is like, how old they are, how active of a lifestyle they live. But I do think in general, like, if you give it a full 12, 15 months, that's when you'll see exactly like how good your results can be. Like, I wouldn't panic if yours doesn't look like someone else's at 5 months. That's the last thing I would want you guys to do. Also, I think I'm gonna cancel my SMP that I had planned for like later this month, just because I now that I'm growing my hair out longer and I think it's less drastic, like looking. I just don't need that right now, and I probably will end up doing that like maybe 10 months post my second hair transplant. So I guess maybe I'll delay this for a year and a half. But I just don't really need it right now, and I wouldn't want to get SMP just to like get another hair transplant and like make that look weird. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Let's see. I can't really think of too much. I will link the video of how I apply hair fibers to my head in the description. It's by Keratin Brotherhood. If you guys have been like kind of like a hair loss YouTube veteran, like you'll know who Keratin Brotherhood is. Like he's like one of literally like the OGs of hair transplant talk, minoxidil, finasteride talk, hair fiber talk. I think he has his own hair fibers he's developing. He makes his own pomade. And so what he does is essentially he takes pomade and he covers his head and then puts the fibers on, and then wears a do-rag for like 5 minutes, and then he puts another layer of pomade on. An oil-based pomade. He seems to emphasize that specifically. Like I didn't use a pomade today. I just used Jamaican castor oil. So I used castor oil, fibers, do-rag for like 10 minutes, fibers. I'm sorry, I did castor oil, fibers, hairspray, do-rag, 10 minutes, and then a little bit more castor oil. And what he says essentially is that it locks in the fibers, kind of creates like a barrier from like, water or rain and stuff like that. Obviously, I don't think you can maybe go swimming, but I was literally covered in sweat from head to toe just like an hour ago, and it looks like I did. Looks perfect. So I'll link a video to that. Also, I actually spoke with one of my viewers, one of you guys. I think his name's Combre. But he reached out to me on Instagram and kind of had some questions. He just recently got his hair transplant done, and I noticed that he was a tattoo artist in my area, and I had friends on Instagram who followed him, and I'm like kind of in the process of like getting more tattoos and stuff like that. So I thought it was really cool to like kind of connect with him. He actually went to my university for grad school. So I just, kind of just saying this to say like how cool, how appreciative I am of like kind of the growing, YouTube community, black man hair transplant community. I think that's awesome. And I'm gonna throw myself in there too, because I know Good Life Joe. He mentioned that like if there's any guys in like the New York area who had a hair transplant and need like a haircut, and they're not super comfortable going to a barber because of how particular you need to be with hair transplant, I'll say if you're in the DMV area, like I can cut your hair. I cut my own hair. I cut some of my buddy's hair, and I do that for cheap, pretty much free if you're willing to come to my house. So, but particularly if you've had a hair transplant, right? And I'm not gonna just cut your hair for free, or regular hair for free. I don't think I have too much else to say. Donor area, I'm still getting like bumps here and there, but I would say the general of my donor area is bump free. Just like 1 or 2 bad ones every once in a while. Put some Ten Skin on it, and those kind of go away. But yeah, I'm growing out my hair. I probably will keep it at around this length, so maybe like a 2-3 guard. Because I think if it gets too much longer than that, then the fact that I'm wearing fibers will be much more apparent. I think with the video I will have shown before this, you'll definitely see the spots that I do need filled in that were pretty much untouched in the first hair transplant. If you go to like my 3-day post-op video, you'll hear me mention that. I think they missed a spot right at the like edge of my crown, and they definitely did, and that's fine. So I still think when I do go to get a hair transplant, I'll just ask for 1,500 to 2,000 grafts taken specifically from the bottom half of my donor area and my beard. And I think that should be plenty. I might even tell them to forget about giving me density in the front half because of how good I think it is going to turn out. Obviously, we'll see at 10 months if that's the case, but I would much rather them focus on my crown than try to add more density in the front, because the way my front looks already, I don't need hair fibers. I really only use hair fibers for my crown, and then I end up putting hair fibers in my front just to kind of make everything look uniform. But if they could fill in my crown and get that to the same level as my front, then I wouldn't even wear hair fibers. So when I go for my second one, I'm probably gonna say, like, don't even bother with the density, just give me more grafts in my crown, and that will be perfect. Also, I'm gonna wrap it up real soon. A company, I forgot what they're called, maybe I'll put their name in the description. They reached out to me, and I think they have products about, it's probably something kind of adjacent to like minoxidil or finasteride. It's some type of hair loss, prevention, hair regrowth serum that they have that they want me to use and promote. And I told them that I would, in terms of giving a review, not necessarily promoting them. But I'll let you guys know more about that. I don't think I'm going to be paid for it. But, I got to put a little bit more thought into that, because I'm not sure if I even would want personally to use a company that I'm not super clear on during my hair transplant process. But I'll kind of look more into what the actual product is and whether or not I feel comfortable using that. And then you guys will, I guess, see, my opinion on that. And then, I don't know, they may have like a discount code or something like that. But that's all I can really think about talking about. If I have anything else, then I guess I'll clip it to the end of this video. But in general, Happy New Year, guys. Hopefully this year's better. Stay safe with the whole coronavirus stuff. And if you do go to Turkey and you have questions, hit me up on Instagram, blood_Zag. And yeah, see you guys later. Hey guys, I don't feel like setting up a camera and getting dressed again, but just last thing. So one of you guys reached out to me on Instagram and was telling me that you were planning on like booking a ticket or booking your transplant and stuff like that. And he mentioned that the price went up. I can't confirm that. I haven't spoken to Asli Tarcan, since, a couple days after my procedure. I'm not exactly sure. I think what he said was that they're almost trying to, they're trying to include some of their like excess like procedures along with the transplant. So for example, like their ozone therapy treatment, which I personally don't really think is like legit. I got it, but I probably wouldn't have if I had more energy to resist their whatever. And apparently they're including some like serums and stuff like that, some more medications along with like their base procedure, but that comes at the cost of them raising the price of their base procedure. So I don't know exactly how much they're charging now. And I can't make them give you guys a better price at all, but let that kind of be just like a thought in your head. Maybe if you're thinking about waiting, by the time like you actually pull the trigger, it might be much more than it currently is. I think that happened with Hair of Instable, like Skinny AB and like his videos around the time that he got his hair transplant from Hair of Instable, they were only charging like $4,000. And then by the time I tried to, get a quote from them, they were charging like $8,000, $9,000. So, these prices are not set in stone. They have the liberty to change and, raise their prices whenever they want. So, if you're thinking about getting this procedure, don't waste time, because, you might be wasting money too. But yeah, just wanted to mention that.